Hey, how's it going? Well, Patriot and their trailers, that whole project's pretty much wrapped up now. So I've got to find the next thing. What was the next project? I'm going through all my projects, right? That's the plan. Get rid of all the projects that are on the table so that I can start a new career with new missions and all the vehicles and equipment available from the start. There's probably still some trailers that I need to finish, like that firefighting one, but, we've got more interesting things to do. So we've got this big old SAR ship. Mongoose is getting really close to finishing his ship, and if he releases his, I don't know if I will use this. Then we've got the Seaplane, and the problems that I'm having with this is the way I've done the float system. The buoyancy isn't calculated inside the floats unless it's physically connected to something like that. This is what I've been told anyway. So if I don't have any physical connection, because this thing here is a manifold, it's a just a modular engine manifold extension. If I spawn this in and it goes into the water, oh man, that buoyancy is kind of trash anyway. But see, they're just underwater. No cares in the world. I really wanted the rear of this to be out of the water more as well, so I don't know what to do about that. Because on the Shinmeiwa, on the reference plane, the back doors are like here. And that's the entrance. They use doors on the back. I had doors up the front, which when I first made them seemed cool, but then you've got a propeller right there, so you're opening the door into a propeller. I think all my spacing and general layout on this is okay, but I'm just not sure about the doors on the back. And I guess if I were to add support like this, so that connects my floats directly to the body, they should be more buoyant. Yeah, so now we're sitting level, you know. It's got even buoyancy on both sides. I think it's tipping because there's actually fuel in the wings, but at least it's trying to float now. Is that... I've also got this guy that I could complete. This is pretty close to working anyway. I think the engines maybe need some rework. But you know, doors and stuff, landing legs or landing wheels, the rear landing gear needs some kind of tweaking. But overall, this is in a pretty good place. Going back even further, there's the Arctic docks. Now, these are basically all done, I think. I just need to figure out maybe some lighting. Make sure that the lighting is all working on them and correct all the spacing where I made spacing mistakes. Make sure that they get fixed. And then a little bit of positioning to get the main body part positioned correctly. And there's also this guy. And this is done, right, essentially. I think I need to just add TCP into this. So TCP is pretty easy to set up. That's the whole point of it, that you can kind of piece together a system. I don't feel like doing that right now. Got the C-17. This needs me to tune the fluid jets. I'm not sure what the last thing I showed was on this. Cargo. I got a bit annoyed with this because the crane on the back is not really good for lifting anything up onto the back of it. It would be good for picking up an anchor or something, but it's not useful in the fact that I wouldn't be able to bring anything right up onto the deck. This is like the engine control here, where you would turn on the furnace. And then below we've got the pistons, so the furnace is actually up there with the boiler. And then This is all blocked off, so it's like here's the workbench and all the spare parts and things. Spanners, books. It's all just a lot of paint blocks. This is a welder, and this, I think if I can get a connection, like a thing that you can hold on to, then I would actually use this as a welder. And then probably need to do something about that, but back here we've got space for a crew, and then I don't know, maybe like just some spare storage down the back. So yeah, this boat is close to working. It just needs the fluid jets to be tuned for the flying aspect of it. When I say like these things just need to happen, they're all actually quite complicated things that are going to take a long time to tune. And then there's this thing. And this is what I want to work on, the Salamander. This is such a weird vehicle. And I was thinking that perhaps I don't need this very long sliding thing on the back. So I think I'll head over to FJ Warner with this. So I was thinking rather than it just going up and down on a slider, because then you have this huge thing that you have to watch out for. I don't need all of this. And I don't need this. It's all like a bit of a complicated mechanism to, you know, I could quite easily put some pivots down the back here. Probably in there, I suppose. I'd probably spin them around, and then the only issue is being able to clear this thing. So I guess they would need to poke out one extra from here. But if I can get something put in on the side like that, then I could do some kind of arm system that goes all the way over and then possibly down as well. And then have this connect onto the AX connector. And then it works more like a tractor or a front loader kind of system. And probably also put pivots up the front here. And so this whole thing can pivot up, and as long as it can get up above a container and even a bit higher than that, then that would be okay instead of having a really tall thing, you know? I just need to watch out for how close it's going to be to the front of that, which means you actually can't even get in the thing in the first place. I think this would be real cool though. Yes, I just need a way to move this over the top so that it's not going to interfere with character trying to get in and out. And perhaps I don't even need to think about connecting, like how am I going to connect to a container? Yeah, I don't even need to know because we're just going to connect whatever AX thing there is. And then it's just up to that to do it. So I'm thinking I'll move this forwards a bit actually. And then I can use some hinges or I can use some wedges. And I want to have these pivots the other way around. Cutting into the exhaust a little bit, but you know, what are you going to do? The exhaust isn't strictly needing to be there. And then from this section, I think it would go up. It's very weird. There you go. And so it's going to bring the containers basically over the back if I want to lift them all the way up. Somewhere like that. This is goofy. So this thing here, the container grabber thingamabob, that will be an add-on, so I can always reset that separate from the vehicle, from the Salamander. Let's see, I guess I'll have to come up to connect, so I might want to put the default position higher up. Oh, what? It's like in a very good position. And it doesn't connect. Why did it not connect? Oh, it did. It's just ridiculously heavy. So this bar across here needs to get very heavy. Very, very heavy, very, very, very quickly. If I just add more weight like that, we can quite easily see if it's a weight issue, and then I can just hit test location and it'll put the container grabber thing back. Oh man. If you think that's what it's doing with just this thing on the end, what's it gonna do? My engine's not working. Yeah, what do you think's gonna happen when you add a container onto this? Oh, I've got no exhaust. That's what it is. So the engine's running for a while and then it's slowing down and stopping. So what's happening, and this is how I'm identifying that there's no exhaust, the power is slowly dying, and it means that the exhaust gas is slowly filling up the pipes, and then it's blocking all the pipes. Now, I thought this thing was heavy, but it's going to need to get way heavier. And good thing I can just use those rocket boosters. Yeehaw! Well, that's pretty good if you think about the height, right? If I'm about here, that lets me drive right up to the edge of something, where this like edge is, and then put it down over the edge. So I'm specifically thinking about my well cars. This particular connector might not be so happy loading my well cars, but it should be okay for everything else. Wait, why have these guys done it this way? When this thing is right on the ground, it's like in the ground. So we need some weight, some permanent, nice looking weight. Just add a couple of weight blocks there and hope that that will be okay. On the back, I'm definitely going to need rocket boosters, and I wonder if I can put these on the like ends of the pivots and make it look like a rivety bolt thing. In here, I'm going to get rid of all the weight blocks. I'm just going to go with one single rocket booster, but I probably will need one up the front. So let's get rid of anywhere that I'm adding artificial weight. I want to remove it so that it can be a bit cleaner about where things actually are. I'm going to have to put it in line with the axle, I think. I kind of wanted to get an even amount on both directions away from the axle. It will just have to do. Then I'm going to bring in these stretched blocks and hide the two rocket boosters. Okay, so I've increased each of those bottom rocket boosters to 2,000. So we've got 4,000 mass in the bottom. And I'm going to slow down the system by another 0.0 in there. We'll get this thing back. Oh man, you can see it's totally in the ground now. I don't know why it's in the ground like that. Huh. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to put a rocket booster in here, which means this whole piece across here is probably going to have to be extra long so that I can hide one of these stretched blocks. Okay, what I've done, I've changed the block, the rocket booster in the front piece here, that now weighs 200, and then the ones in the bottom weigh 1000, so 2000. We've cut the weight in half, possibly because there's more weight over the front, it's riding higher. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, so that weight is like artificial off the rocket booster. It's not going to work like this. This whole system might not work because it's very dependent on the front of this having enough weight in it. And I don't know if that is enough weight. And for some reason that rear rocket booster, even though it's on the same subgrid, doesn't seem to be doing anything helpful. Man, this thing's so heavy. The mass doesn't get calculated with the rocket booster. It only gets calculated like this one up here. Mass is 1493. It's only calculated by how many barrels and weight blocks and things are in here. Oh, something's not right about this. I think I'm trying to build this very open thing, and the weight is just not working for it. So this is the Aster handler, so same kind of end result solution that I'm looking for. Their mass is 5000, and that's before any trickery. It's just loaded with barrels, that's all. I wonder how much a battery weighs. 800. I probably just need to put in a lot of barrels, bring my weight up. So what can I do? I think all of this is kind of gotta go, perhaps. Mainly because this end connection can't sustain the lifting capacity that's needed. I really don't want this to be a really tall thing though. I'm not sure how tall it needs to go, but I don't want it to be very tall. I hate when things don't go the way they're supposed to. Or I don't like it at least. So I think I'm going to run grippers and tracks beside each other. And then that leaves a big thing in the middle open. If I pushed it out even more, I could do grippers that face inwards. Like this. So then the tracks are actually out here. I think the whole thing needs to come up. I really like making low things, low vehicles, but to get all the additional weight, I'm pretty sure it's going to need to get taller just so it can store lots of barrels in the bottom there. It's coming back down on its own. What's going on? The brakes aren't enough to stop. Wait, the brakes aren't even moving with the thing in the middle. They're just like floating there. They're connected on the wrong subgrid. They need to be connected to that. It's all a bit floaty at the moment. It's very violent. I bet it works, I guess. I kind of want to rebuild it again, as in I want to take the frame and rebuild it. Were these wheels 3x wheels? Oh, these are 7s, huh? Huh. So basically I need to make this, but like twice as high, twice as tall. You know, it could be really interesting as well to like turn this completely sideways so that you drive up beside the container and pick it up sideways and then like, I don't know, imagine if this sliding system were on the side. So the main thing about this system that I want to keep is the whole spinning around seat thing, and the rest of it's kind of like just to fit the engine and to fit the other systems. So it's this bit here that I need to keep. And all the logic on it is really good. Like it works, and I'm happy with how it works. So I think if I can encase this a little bit, make it a bit more like a cockpit. Maybe I have to put a door on it. Why are you doing this? Why? Why are you like this? It doesn't have to be this way. Basically right now I'm trying to stretch it, or like twist it in the opposite direction. I'm trying to twist it vertically, which is not going well. Another option might actually be to flip this up the other way. Okay. There's that bit of window where it's just too fat, but because I've got a display thing, maybe I can hide it or give myself a little bit of a, I don't know, like a little a little bit of a wall thing before it stretches up. And I don't really want doors on this, but I might be forcing myself to have doors. If I'm going to put doors on it, they're going to be those pipe doors that I put on the Mongo. Yeah, I don't mind this though. I've got no wheels, so I can't go anywhere. But we can turn around. Also, that glare on the windows, is that an issue? And there's a little gap through there. I don't know what I'm doing about this. So I'm going to cut the logic, stick it to the roof, because I know that it's only the window on this cab that's really doing screwy things. Everything else, though, I think I need to rebuild. I'm going to build a little tower of microcontrollers on the roof. So, all of this, goodbye. I just need to put a lot of weight below this, you know? So, if we'll just go up a bit, and we'll just try and bring the mass up. The amount of mass that I can shove in the bottom here will determine how tall it becomes. 1500. 27. This might be okay, you know. That's about 4,000. And that's not taking into account any kind of like decorative pieces that get put on or anything extra, any extra weight that gets added. It puts the cab really high up. I think that's where the wheels were before. Now they'll be all the way down there. It really changes what kind of design this is. So the whole engine can now be down here. The tilting system would need to go down, and most of this can go because we're no longer like at the same level. It's all going to be a bit of looking up. It's just all got to go. It kind of sucks, you know. It's taking that idea and just killing it. Now I want to stay within 11 pixel or 11 blocks width. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I need some kind of way to walk up to this thing. And if that's where the like floor of the cab is, then perhaps there's like a thing, like a walkway thing, which like if I put in a stretched block, it would hide this gap, which I can't even do anything about on the other side. Perhaps I can then put some stairs on. We could do the front side of it, I suppose. I might have to get rid of these barrels though. Depending on where those stairs come to, and then get rid of that, and then have a little like standing platform. Get rid of that. So that's still within my 5, or within my 11 sizing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe it comes up like that, and then this bit can go down like that. So you walk up, jump onto this, go up the stairs, hop in your driver's seat. Oh, it's right up against it. I'm gonna have to push that out 1 block. No rails on this thing. If you go up and you fall off, you're dead. So it becomes more or less the same on the back, except maybe the back can retain its sort of length. Lengthy length. Gives me somewhere to put an engine. Nearly at 4,000 mass. I might put the ladder on the, or the stairs on the other side. Or even, I could just do a ladder. I can bring like all the walls and stuff out and find out where it's going to be when it's turned around. It's going to be based on that central pivot, right? So here. Cut all that. Get a ladder. Maybe that's just like a fender or something that goes the whole way along. Climb up. I don't think you would climb up though. You would probably just look at the seat. These windows, man, the glare is terrible on those. But that's the kind of shape, I suppose. And then with the wheels, I don't even think... Like I'm being forced, right? I'm being forced. They're forcing me to do this. Truck wheels. I didn't want to do this. I was forced. So here's my new wheels. And this is 5. Oh, that actually looks kind of cool. Very bouncy looking. This looks a lot more like a rhino or an elephant than a salamander now. I don't think I can call it a salamander anymore. This is just silly looking. This looks so funny. It's like a very heavy duty kind of like slow machine, and then someone's put like an egg or an apple or something on the top of it. This all still works though, so that's nice. I probably should put the tilt on a counter, and then that would let me limit it without a clamp. I think I'll use these narrow wheels. They'll definitely clip unless I push them out though. But that's getting close. Like that's the edge of my building. That's, yeah, they're already sticking out one. It's just the front, because at the back there's already kind of this bit of clearance. I could definitely lose those and then angle itself in. So use a wedge like that. It's probably not harsh enough. It probably needs to be fully 1 by 1. Get that. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then it pops back out. Which, like, does it even need to pop back out? Because it's already going to be pretty much at the back. And I could put some fender looking things in here as well. Actually, that's kind of like maybe better than having it go in. Doing all these wedges and stuff, it could just be a fender. What am I doing? I'm digging a hole. I'm just going to see how deep I can dig this hole. How can I make this not a box on wheels? This is not a salamander anymore. Okay, I just want to see how much weight I really need to, or how many barrels I actually need to get to like 5,000 mass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I keep my barrels within this space, how high does this need to be? That's about 1,500 mass there. That's about 1,000 mass. So a block of this 5 high would be all you need. I think it's just this pod thing, you know? It looks too round. That's what the problem is. It's too round. It should be square. Or it should be... I mean, being symmetrical would also help, because right now it's like it hangs out over one direction a bit more. So yeah, like this should all come back 1. Even if it was just like had a basket or something on the back, I think that would be better than being totally uneven. And instead of curving up, it should just drop straight down. It should just be like that. Blop. Blop. If I make this a fluid pivot, then I could put the exhaust coming out the back of this. What do you think about that? I get these like little flashes of ideas and then, you know, think about it for a while and then I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing here. A good idea, but not this idea. So no more eggs. We're going for whatever this is. Not an egg shape. Okay. Okay. I approve. I approve of this message. It looks a lot more like a tram. An old-timey tram. Yeah. 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 Okay. We're getting somewhere. So basically I need that on the other side, but a bit shorter. A bit shorter. So I can just like copy it, no problems, and just don't copy the whole thing. Right? Makes sense. I'll just take, you know, that much. Okay, I'll flip it. If I flip it, I need to remember that the spacing needs to be the same and the wheels are backwards. Man, it's crazy, you know? Just very strange, very strange. It's really square now. It's squared up quite a lot. It looks like a truck, more like a truck now. It is just a truck, isn't it? I've just built a big truck. Except your truck can't do this. It just reminds me of like American fire trucks. They're just like really long and have all these big things. I don't know what you'd call this. These big step things around the back and front. I bet it works though, you know. That's the dumb thing. But it probably works. For now, I'm just going to connect W and S onto motors. And then we'll have steering on all corners. Steering inverted. And I think that's all correct. And we'll be able to go and see where that thing is. See if I can connect to that, pick it up, and not be a total mess. Oh, electric motors. It's not cute like it used to be, you know? It's a big heavy machine. There we go. Oh. There we go. Whoa! It's pretty stable though. So that's good. We've got some good ground clearance. We're very stable at high speed. We can carry things, carry these containers. You know, I think I've lost all the personality. It's lost a lot of personality, but it's gained all the functionality. Oh man, it's taken me 2 hours to get to here. I guess that's all I've got for you then. Let me know what you think about this, because I'm not convinced. I really like the idea of like a swiveling cab, so you can pick it up and have the container at the rear of your vehicle. And then you can kind of just drive around, and then when you want to put it on a trailer or a train, you can swivel the whole thing back around, and it kind of gives you those two different modes of like being a truck and a container handler. The way it looks is just not good though. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'll keep working on it, but there are other projects I can work on as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.